If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your faded words I will choke.
Happy Fantasy Draft Friday to everyone in the sports universe. It is July 29th, 2022, and this is the AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, and Spotify, and wherever you want to watch or listen to your favorite shows. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvella saying, what's up, Aaron? Good Friday to you, man.
And a happy Friday to you, sir. I just wanted to say, again, a special thanks for Joe Madden coming on. She was an awesome get, and it seemed like she really enjoyed what she talked about. And I just wanted to say another tip of the cap to Joe and all the people we've had on this week, including Tony Johnson as well. But we're heading into the weekend here. I love Fantasy Draft Fridays. I'm so glad to be back. And this one's going to be a good one. The best NFL uniforms of all time. I'm ready for this one right now. I love the engagement we've been getting on social media with all of these, the Top 5 Tuesdays, the Fantasy Draft Fridays, the the NBA list, etc. It's been awesome. And for those of you listening and engaging, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for that we
Thank you.
That's for fanatics. We'll be all right. Hey, if you want the most awesome apparel that Aaron does not wear anymore, you've got to go to amdrive.online.
Drying in the laundry room. It had macaroni and cheese stains on it. But hey, guess what? I brought an old familiar face back from the cupboard.
Hey, the tumbler! Woohoo!
The tumbler's here along with the mug.
I do need a tumbler. That's a good one. I don't know how much I like tumblers and so my dad is an apartment painter, right? He'll find old stuff in just stuff that people leave behind. He found a Yeti, although beer without a lid. He found this Yeti. I was like, I really like drinking water out of this thing. So I'm gonna have to get myself a tumbler from our store, but it's an AM Drive online. The stuff is like cheap, so it's basically like you found in an apartment, right? I'm kidding. That's
pretty much. That's just your family apparently. So
right, but it's good. It's good merchandise, man, and we'll price match it for you if you find anybody else that has it cheaper, because we're just that confident it won't be. So
100%.
All right. So the hot topic for our show has been our top 15 NBA players. Since 1985. Aaron, when we first decided to do this, I did not think it was going to be as popular as it was. I thought like Nick Wright had done his, and you kind of mentioned we kind of collaborated. We should do ours. This was pretty fun, though.
I agreed. I enjoyed it 100%.
You had Shaq #1. That just blew my mind that you actually did that.
Well, if to defend it here a little bit.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't the best decision, but Shaq and Jordan to me were interchangeable numbers 1 and 2. And I know that, there were some people who commented any list that doesn't have Jordan #1 is invalid, and any list that doesn't have Jordan and LeBron 1 and 2 isn't worth reading the rest of it. And it's like, everybody has a little bit different of opinion. And okay, I will take my hat off and say, okay, maybe there was a slight troll job to Shaquille O'Neal being #1, but it was unintentional. Like I have sat up here on this stage, on any stage, and defended Michael Jordan as the best player of all time, only for me to say, like Shaquille O'Neal for that 8-year run, he was the most dominant player I had ever seen in my life. And yes, the fact that he could not shoot free throws is really what keeps him off of a lot of people's lists in terms of, top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5, whatever you want to, wherever you rank Shaquille O'Neal. I think you had him 5th or 6th, correct?
Items number, wow. There, I just had it right here. Oh, number 6. There we go. Okay,
so maybe I made a slight mistake getting caught up in the Shaquille O'Neal controversy. But again, one of the most dominant players. You're right. Like in the beginning of his, his formative years with the Magic, he was slowly becoming a great force in the league. With the Lakers, we all know it. With the Heat, he gets another title. And the problem is, a lot of your era sees Shaquille O'Neal as this guy who just bounced around at the end of his career, kind of. With what? Not Seattle. The Cleveland. Cleveland, Boston. He just kind of flopped around the rest of his career. And that usually leaves sour tastes in people's mouth. But, man, a lot of you people forget 94 through 04 was, in my opinion, one of the best players, obviously one of the best players of all time. So, okay, maybe there's a small, regret for not putting Michael number one, but Shaquille's a big power force for me in terms of this list. And a lot of people said, why does Kareem belong on this list? And, I'll say it. The fact of the matter is from 1985 to when he retired in 89, I think he still won 3 finals. He was a finals MVP. He was a 5-time All-Star. And I think he won 1 all first team NBA. That's a pretty damn good career just for 4 years or 5 years.
Right.
So, yeah, Kareem unfortunately had to be on this list, even though he doesn't really qualify for the modern era. So, to me, I could see Kareem being on or off one way or the other, but even that little stretch was still pretty damn impressive. And, of course, people were mad because I left off Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis just blows my mind. Why Giannis would that make people mad? That's just recency bias.
It is. I mean, he will be on these lists, but you try to make a list, I implore all of you, 15 players fills up real fast.
Yeah. Like, you had John Stockton, I was like, son of a gun, I almost forgot him. I was like, hyping up Karl Malone, we got John Stockton falling off my list.
Well, everybody kept talking about Reggie Miller, and I'm like, yeah, I forgot about him.
Well, he never really comes to my mind. And when Steph Curry passed,
you didn't watch a lot of 90s basketball. He was pretty damn incredible. He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry was Steph Curry. Now, obviously, he has far superseded as well as Ray Allen, but he was fun to watch, just like Steph. And he was a big trash talker, 100%. But he doesn't come to mind for top 15 for me.
I mean, I've never heard him in the top 15 list ever, so I don't know what people are talking about. He's going to come close. If he's ever in the top 10 conversation, there's no way you have to have him in the top 15.
No, but I'm saying if he's not a top 15 of all time, all basketball, I understand that 100%. But if you took the decade of the 90s, I think he'd make the top 15, 100%.
That's fair. With my list, I want to dedicate some pushback. I want to remind people of Magic Johnson, and I understand because before this list, before dissecting and breaking it down in my personal research, what?
Wasn't talking
man
to
was
you.
Muted.
No, I was muted on purpose. Muted on purpose.
Poor dog. When I did my list, like before I did it, I'll admit I had Magic Johnson higher. I honestly believe that Magic Johnson was a greater player. There's no way when some guys have started 14 or 1,500 games and have done so much more in the NBA for so much longer, that Magic Johnson should be as high as he is on people's list. 763 games. Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, I believe, have already started more than that.
Well, right, and
That's
I'll take
a problem to me.
I'll take the devil's advocate side. It's the quality over quantity thing. Like LeBron's in year 20 and still searching for ring number 5. Kobe and Michael Jordan did it in less. Shaquille O'Neal, like what if he would have just retired after the Heat? Like all those bumbling years of staying in the league, like that may propel him to the top 2 or 3 in a lot of people's lists. But I think a lot of people get those sour tastes in their mouth. I mean, let's be honest. This Lakers, I understand they got the bubble title, but if LeBron stays with the Lakers for 2-3 more years and it's garbage, 33, 35 wins like it was last year, regardless of who his supporting cast is, doesn't that kind of hurt the legacy just trying to stay around for what? Like what is he staying around for? It did hurt Michael Jordan in a sense of like he looked frail and old. Now again, players are different. LeBron's in year 20 and things like that. But I mean, if you look at, the 90s, the middle section of Michael Jordan's career, that's where everything is taken from. Like the longevity doesn't necessarily always make it the best. Like, oh yeah, this guy survived in the NBA for 20 years. Like Zdeno Chara in the NHL right now, like he's been around probably 5 years too long. Like he should have retired 5 years ago. This is just really hurting him as he bounces around the league. Joe Thornton, same thing.
The only reason that people want to make it not be longevity is because Michael Jordan has 0 of it. When looking at my list, that's the only thing I found that was consistent. Was
Well, I
Michael
disagree.
Jordan played 14 freaking years. And there's so many other guys that did so many other great things, but we have to say it's quality. Why? To me, each list also has to preface their argument. My list was greatest for I believe quality and longevity had to take effect. You
Okay,
couldn't
that's
just
fair.
say, "Oh, well, I was good for 500 games." Okay, well, fantastic. So was
Well,
Derrick Rose.
the thing is, for 500 games, these guys are absolutely incredible. And Magic Johnson wins
That's
5
fine.
titles in 700 games. I mean, you look at like Tim Duncan, like he has a little more longevity, but I think he still played like 15, 16 years. Kobe played 20 years, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Kareem, 20 years. But Shaquille O'Neal came in the league, I believe, 92, 93. If he had retired after 2006, where like his most dominant force is, I don't think we're arguing. We're arguing my list. It's an arguable list at that point. Like I think that Shaquille O'Neal could be the best player of all time because of what he accomplished. Magic Johnson, same thing. Like LeBron James, yeah, he stuck around for 20 years, but like the advancements in technology and health sciences, they help. These guys, what if the next guy comes in and plays 25 years and has 4 rings? Is he better than LeBron? Maybe.
No.
You don't know that. Nobody thought anybody would be better than Michael Jordan. Now there's an argument made for LeBron James. Hell, there's even an argument people make for Kobe Bryant. I don't agree with it. Kobe Bryant's one of the best players of all time. But again, he's number 7 on my list. Larry Bird didn't play for a long time, but he played for a good time. Like, look, the biggest argument I always see is Terrell Davis. Now, if you look up Terrell Davis' stats, he was really good for like 4 years. Really good.
NBA or NFL?
Terrell Davis is an NFL player, running back. He played with John Elway back with the Broncos when they won 2 titles. And for 4 years, he was the best running back you may have ever seen in your life. But that's it. He was hurt afterwards. He could never get right. And he's in the Hall of Fame. Wow. He has 4 good years, 4 great years, including a 2,000-yard season and 2 Super Bowls. And he's in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he should be a Hall of Famer. But that's the thing. What you do in the time you're there, if it's absolutely incredible and unprecedented, sometimes that gets you in. And that's the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird kind of effect. I mean, Michael still played 14 years in the league. That's not bad. That's not a bad career.
I agree, it's not bad, and it's not just longevity for me. Like I think Jordan fans also get that twist. Not you, but people get a twist when I say longevity. That's the ultimate be all. No, it's not that shit. They were long. They were doing almost as great things as Michael Jordan. They just did it for longer. So it's not like they were just like Shaquille O'Neal floating around the league didn't really affect my list any. Like he was incredible for 10 plus years. But when you have guys that are incredible for 20 as opposed to 14 or 15, if Kareem's winning a title at age 38, averaging 22 in the finals, that to me, longevity does matter because he's still playing really well.
That's a fair assessment.
Brought up, like Shaquille O'Neal's final years was longevity, but I didn't do that. These LeBron and Kareem were incredible past 35 years old.
100%. I can definitely agree with you factoring that in. And again, Kareem was the wrinkle in this thing because, I mean, he's not modern era, but like I said, what he did from 1985 just to the end of his career is still pretty damn impressive. Like if you took 1985, yeah, he played with Magic, he played with James Worthy, he played with Byron Scott. I know. But I'm saying if you took 1985 to 1989 for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he might still be like number 15 or honorable mention on my list. So I guess he gets roped in here in the fact that he did create a huge wrinkle. Like obviously, if I didn't have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it would be Shaq, Michael, LeBron for me, and you could pick the order. I could argue anywhere you pick the order. Like I can I can make arguments for LeBron number 1. They make them all the time, and they're not so far off base. Like the Jordan heads that are just absolute like head and shoulders. Like Michael's number 1 and LeBron's number 7. No, shut up. Like stop. Come on. Like I'm sorry. Like for me, like I said, without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in this modern era, LeBron's number 3 for me. And again, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, in my era, what I watched, the 2 of the most dominating forces. And yeah, somebody said this list has the look of a guy who stopped watching basketball like 2005. I'm like, a little later than that, but you're not completely wrong. Like,
I could argue the same with Jordan fans.
Sure. I mean, those arguments can be had.
After the year 2000.
But why do we still have these conversations? Because no one's changing their mind.
Because it's fun, because sports are subject to opinion. There's so many different opinions.
and they're awesome. And that's what I kind of wanted to get out of like making our list. And when we talked about Nick Wright's list, like this was fun to do. Like I
love it. I'm not mad. I love this.
I haven't really super followed. Like again, like move down the list. Like Larry, Kobe, Tim, Hakeem. Like could those all be interchangeable too? Sure, it's all a matter of opinion.
Good
like
point.
When somebody was, I had two guys on my Facebook page arguing the David Robinson, Giannis Antetokounmpo argument. Like, how is Giannis not in the top 15, but David Robinson number 12? Like, if you look at David Robinson's stats, like Giannis will get there, but not yet.
I think Giannis will surpass a lot of these guys. To be fair.
Agreed.
When he had
100%.
such a slow start to his career, he does not have the counting stats, and that matters.
Correct. And like I said, he'll probably get there. Kevin Durant's not on my list. I mean, that probably irks some people too.
Steph Curry. I can't believe how many people want him in the top 10. That just blew my mind.
Yeah, like I don't even feel he's in the top 10 of this modern era. Like
he changed the game. Okay, and?
But see, the thing is, did he change the game? Because when I watch basketball, which is a little more rare now, I just see teams bricking 30 freaking three-pointers a night. Like, yes, because he and Clay can shoot doesn't mean everyone else can.
And plus, the Warriors just play such beautiful basketball. It's not even just that they can shoot. It's like these guys actually move the ball. There's not just, hey, let's throw up. Why? Come on now.
Yeah, I don't like this, and I've seen enough of this whole, okay, Steph and Clay changed the game. Yeah, all these kids are out here who can't shoot, bricking up three balls. I don't think he changed the game for the better, but that's my opinion.
Let's talk Kyler Murray before we take our first break here. Kyler Murray, this contract got really ugly really quickly. I don't know what the backlash was, but apparently it was enough to where the Cardinals as an organization ripped it from the contract and said, no, he doesn't have to watch film for 4 hours. Well, why? Like, obviously, if it was in the contract, that was a concern enough.
Yeah, and these headlines are saying the controversial independent study class. How is this controversial? You're investing millions of dollars, 200 and I believe 30, right, to be more precise, in a person. That's a lot of money. I don't care what you say. I know that the NFL is $1 billion industry, but $230 to me is a lot of money. And I want to make sure. Yeah, I want to make sure that my investment is doing everything possible to pay dividends. And if I feel that your work ethic is called into question, I want to make sure I can tie up that loose end. Now, the fact that it became public knowledge, I think, is kind of effed up, and I don't know how or who leaked that. But again, we have to look at this as Kyler Murray doesn't seem too invested, and even admitted himself that he doesn't do enough film study. I think he did it last year. I think Mike Florio wrote an article about that, that he doesn't really even study film that much. Like he told someone he's so gifted to be able to adapt to what's in front of him and make the most of it, or do the right play. Get what's needed based on what you see at the time. I don't agree with that. That's never going to be able to be successful in the NFL. And to be honest, I think that this is just a generation now that just thinks they can walk into wherever they go, take money, and just go away. Like he may be a quarterback that doesn't even play past his 30s. And again, that's fine. That's we all want a job that we can do that and walk away healthy and with millions of dollars. I'm just saying, like, the game of football has become so soft over the last 10 years. And this is just another brick on the foundation of the fact that Kyler Murray his work ethic has come into question, and he is incredibly embarrassed, I guess, for lack of a better word, at this coming out. Now, again, to be fair, this should never have come out. Contracts, I agree. Your dollar amount because of the salary cap becoming public knowledge, okay, that happens. But as far as clauses in the contract like this, and I don't like that, and I don't love the fact that reporters just get so far deep and get their nose so deep into these situations that, we get information that we don't necessarily need. We may want it, but we don't necessarily need it. But at the end of the day, like, all you had to do really was get some buddies over and watch Monday Night Football. That's 4 hours of independent film study, correct? No?
Right. I don't. I agree with you on the fact that the contract should never. The fact that someone went so far, like you said, to nosedive into this thing and try to like find out what was going on is just horrible. It's like creating a narrative that you hope is still there. But as for Kyler moaning and complaining about, and then the Cardinals deciding he was good enough to rip it up, it just shows you, well, that's Kyler Murray for you. Congratulations, Kyler.
Well, and the other problem is, to me, in my opinion, I think that he's put an unnecessary and more amount of pressure on himself because, just letting this go, like, oh, look, if Kyler Murray has a bad season, at least he's studying the film. At least he's now mandated to become a better quarterback. Taking this away, whether he does end up honoring that part of the deal, like maybe this is a silent handshake deal that doesn't have to be involved. Like, hey, man, we still need you to, be more focused. In our 3 years or 4 years, however long he's been in the league, we feel that you necessarily, in our opinion, haven't been as focused as we'd like you to be. So let's just have a handshake deal here and make sure that you're studying more and watching more film. I think he just put unnecessary pressure on himself because now if he doesn't have a good game, the Twitter heads and even the talking heads on ESPN, guess he should have watched more film this week. Like, I feel like there's unnecessary pressure that just was put on by him whining about a film clause. Like, this isn't a, hey, you can't go to the club. Hey, you can't have girls in your room. Hey, you can't, do this, that, and the other in your personal life. This is saying, hey, man, you think you can pop in a tape of our next opponent for a few hours every night before you go to bed? Like, this isn't so offensive that he had to come out and basically whine about it.
Yep, that was a good word, whine. But we have to leave it there, Aaron, because coming up next is a fantasy draft. The best uniforms ever. I have a feeling of a few that you're going to do. So I hope when you pick first, you don't pick one in line. We're right back to the AM draft. Oh, are you picking first, though? It's a better question.
I guess I have to do some rock, paper. I think we should do some rock, paper, scissors.
We'll find out.
On the other side of the break here. Yeah,
we
on the other
deserve
side
it.
of the break.
We're back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask.
It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, and welcome back here to the AM Drive on this Fantasy Draft Friday, and we appreciate you guys listening, watching, tuning in, and all of your engagement. But we want to let you guys know about Fanatics. It's very simple. You guys know Fanatics. You've heard of it. You've probably bought from there. But when you buy from there in the future, you've got to go to mikeandaarondrive.com. And when you go to mikeandaarondrive.com, there is a logo that looks a little bit like this one above me. And what do you do with that logo, Mike, when you get to mikeandaarondrive.com?
Got to click it.
Yeah, you got to click it. And when you do, it takes you into the Fanatics website, an affiliate link of sorts for us. And when you buy everything that you buy at Fanatics, using that link found at mikeandaarondrive.com, it helps out this show tremendously. And today's deal is Free shipping on orders over $24. I know that one was just recently as well, but they always have the best daily deals so that you can get all the merch, memorabilia, etc. from every team, every league, and every player. Make sure you shop Fanatics today by using MikeandAaronDrive.com. And when you do that, we thank you.
Oh, shame. I just already did it at the beginning of the show. Okay, I'll take that.
All right, Mike, it's Fantasy Draft Friday time here. The best NFL uniforms in the history of football. This one is going to be interesting. I think we will have a couple overlaps or some that are on the list here, but I've got my 10 best uniforms of all time, which obviously with a Fantasy Draft Friday, I'm going to get 5 of them. Remember, guys, Fantasy Draft Friday, once one person takes it, the other person can't take it. So it's not like Top 5 Tuesdays where we can both have something each on our list. So Fantasy Draft Friday, we have to start this with rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the first pick in the draft. So this ought to be interesting. Rock, paper, scissors from across the country.
And we're going to do 1, 2, 3 means like normal, okay?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, and then whatever you choose.
No, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ow. I'll do
Come
a
on,
gun
man. You
now.
have to. Don't do gun. Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. Do you remember that? Do you watch Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You ready?
And shoot means you show your thing, right?
Shoot means you throw out one of the 3.
You
Correct.
throw your gang. Okay, cool.
Rep your hood.
What's
All
that?
right, here we go. Ready? Rock,
paper, scissors.
Oh my God, this is bad. All right, let's try it again.
Ready.
Rock.
Rock.
Okay, well, let's go 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Let's do that.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Jeez.
Oh my Lord! Just do it.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
4.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ha!
You win. That was atrocious. We should just hold our thing off camera and go ready, set, go.
Right.
All right, you win. You got
That's
scissors over paper. You win. You get the first pick in our Fantasy Draft Friday of the best uniforms in NFL history. So you're on the clock.
Okay, so I'm thinking about this because I know what I want. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna steal it right from you.
I think you will.
Buccaneers creamsicle.
Oh, that was number 3 on my list. Nice.
Oh, it's number 3. Dang.
Yeah. All right, so I lost that one. So, all right, well, with the second pick in the NFL uniform draft, the Aarons select the Chargers powder blue jerseys with the white helmets with the yellow lightning bolt. Best uniform.
The white pants too, right?
The white pants as well. Best uni in sports, or best uni in the NFL, in my opinion. So that's my number 1 pick, number 2 overall.
All right, with the second round first pick and the best uniform draft in the NFL history, that was horrible. I'm going to go with the Patriots red throwbacks with the Pat Patriot on the helmet.
Yeah. Now that one you stole from me. That was my next pick.
So
all right.
The red throwbacks, okay.
With the second pick in the second round of the best uniforms in NFL history draft, Aaron selects another powder blue. The Oilers powder blue with the white helmets, with the tower, with the oil sticking out of the side.
That was awesome.
Oilers powder blue is my second round pick. So that's powder blue theme so far.
So I'm going to go with one that is pretty modern. Actually, it was just announced.
Okay.
So I hope it's the Bengals all white for 2022.
They didn't make the list, but I'm interested to see what that looks like. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it looks like a Bengal tiger, man. I love that.
All right, well, with my third round pick, I am going to go with the Dolphins, the old teal on teal with the old school white Dolphin helmet.
I take that.
I love the Dolphins teal as much as I dislike the Dolphins. I love those teal unis. And I think they really bring them back now, too. I think they use them from time to time now as well, as far as
they do.
Teal on teal pants.
Ooh.
So number 3 pick for me, Dolphins teal on teal with the old school Dolphin that's more upright than flat.
I'm going to do another one that's very controversial, which I get it because it looks like a highlighter. But with my fourth pick, I'm going to go Seahawks Color Rush.
That was my next pick.
I love that thing, dude.
I do too. That's an awesome.
So good at night.
That's an awesome one as well. I'm going to go a throwback that we don't see enough for me, and that is the Broncos Orange Crush uniform.
That was on my list, but that was not the next one. Okay, thank God. Whew. I like that. That's a good one. That was on my list as well if you had stolen another one. But to pay homage, and I could do another one here that I really like too, but I'm going to do this one. The Falcons, white pants, black shirts, red helmets.
I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Oh, with the old school red helmet with the old Falcon? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you got to pay homage to the hometown here. Now I'm stuck between with my last pick here. I'm stuck between two, and we don't give honorable mentions on Fantasy Draft Friday, so I'll just bring them both up here because it's the last pick. You can't make any more. Right. I'm torn between just the classic black and gold Steelers uniforms. I love those with the logo only on one side. And then I'm torn between the old school. I think they wore them between 2002 and 2015. Every year on Thanksgiving, the white helmet and navy jersey on the Cowboys.
For Cowboys, do that one. That's a better one for you.
I think that's my pick. I mean, I love the black and gold of the Steelers, but I think the Cowboys Thanksgiving unis with the white helmet and navy jersey. They're
bringing it back this year.
Sweet, even better. Then it's definitely making my top 5 in my fantasy draft here. So. To recap them, Mike, you had the first pick.
Buccaneers creamsicle, Patriots red throwback, Bengals brand new all whites, Seahawks color rush, and Falcons black and red throwback.
Looking at my list, I think it's possible you won this. We'll have to get updated standings on what the Fanatics Challenge has been so far. But my number one,
are you kidding me?
My number one pick was the Chargers powder blue on white helmets and white pants with the bolt. The Oilers powder blue with the powder blue tower on the white helmet. Dolphins teal on teal with the old school upright dolphin. The Broncos orange crush uniforms and the Cowboys white helmet navy jersey Thanksgiving unis that are now I just learned coming back. So sweet.
Another one I like to give credit to, two more actually. The Jets all black.
The Jets all green one is good too. Don't forget about that one.
I like the black better. And plus, this year they're having a black helmet with the green Jets. I kind of like the green helmet better with that. Okay. But another one I want to look at, the Texans with their red helmets, dude, is the best thing besides Andre Johnson in Texans history to me.
That's a new thing, right?
Yeah, the red helmet. Oh my God, that thing was incredible.
Fair enough. I haven't. I've been so out of the loop. I didn't see these. I did see the all white. Now, are they doing white helmet too? The Bengals?
Yeah, that's the catch.
White from top to bottom.
Helmet, yeah.
Okay, so the jersey and the pants and everything's white.
Yeah.
Well, if they don't improve that offensive line, Joe Burrow's jersey won't be white for very long.
Oh Lord, but that's the best thing they could have done, though.
Fair enough. I like that the Bengals are a little bit more relevant. Obviously, going to a Super Bowl will do that. But I'm just saying, how many years they've been the Bungles and the whole laughing about. Nobody's ever sent a text to anybody about a Bengals playoff win. It's always good when the parity in the league and having teams that are, good and bad, unless you're the Jets. It's a nice thing to see. But
the Giants are bringing back their old Giants thing on the side too.
That's another good one. And all of those classic ones. One that actually I considered as well. And it's the Philadelphia Eagles uniform. That green. Forest Kelly green. I like that too with the wings coming out of the helmet. Another really good one. The Bucks when they changed in '97 from the creamsicle to the pewter and red, I liked those as well. I owned 4 or 5 of those red jerseys. The alarm clock Bucks were terrible. People liked that one though, where their numbers looked like alarm clock numbers. That one I didn't quite understand. You'd have to look it up.
Digital number?
They looked digital. Look it up. Look up Bucks alarm clock number jerseys or whatever you want to look it up. I mean, not now, but
I'm looking up what we're talking because I like this. This sounds good.
Yeah, some others that like made the list for me were just, like I said, the all green for the Jets, the all
Oh
black,
yeah, the Jameis Winston ones. I
the
could.
Jameis Winston, where their numbers look like they're on an alarm clock. I hated
I
those.
just realized that that's what that was. I looked
Yeah,
at that
those were.
number trying to figure out the font, and that's what that was the whole time.
It's a digital alarm clock. That's all I can think of when I see those numbers. They're atrocious, but there's been some good ones back in the day. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is a lot of times these classic uniforms that never go out of style, the original, the Dallas Cowboy white, the black and gold of the Steelers, the Packers, the green and yellow, like they don't do too much deviation on those things, and they get left off of these lists sometimes, but they should get more credit than they do.
But the Colts,
100%.
man, pissed me off.
The Colts are very mundane, but that blue and white, you just,
And blue and white clicks a lot. And
It
plus,
does.
the color rush all blue was incredible, though.
And to me, coupled with the helmet, doesn't get enough love. But they've never changed their uniform since their existence. It's the Baltimore Ravens. The
Yeah.
purple with the Maryland crest with the Raven on there. It's a pretty damn good uniform. So
All black
again,
Ravens are pretty good too.
those were cool. I remember they used those against the Chiefs, I think.
They use those a lot.
Yeah, all black
I
Ravens,
like
but that purple's a good color too. So
Agreed.
again, some of those classic unis don't get enough love.
And next, I don't know if we're going to do it next week because we have some scheduling issues. But the next draft we're going to do is NBA, and I'm telling you, those Hawks,
NBA?
those games, and
Oh,
NBA,
for uniforms.
we got uniforms in NBA. We're talking Vancouver Grizzlies, old school Hawks, the Minneapolis Lakers. There's some
The
good
Detroit Piston Teals that they're bringing back.
And listen, the Miami Heat's violet red or whatever that red is
That
called.
Miami Vice jersey is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the blue one was nice. Oh my gosh, you got me thinking.
No, it's like a blue. It looks like a sunset. Like it's got the purples and oranges and reds and blues. Yeah,
they also
that
have a
one's pretty cool.
championship gold one where like mimic the Larry O'Brien trophy, which is incredible.
All the blackout jerseys they went through for a while too.
With
There's some
the white hot.
NBA
Man,
could be good.
Miami might make all mine 5. My goodness, I just thought about that.
I don't even hate that. Oh, if it's a draft, I might not let you have all 5.
Yeah,
Seattle Supersonics. Don't forget about them. Shout out.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some baseball. You ready for it?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All rise. Aaron Judge hits a walk-off home run to break a 0-0 tie against a team. I believe Andrew Benintendi was just on this team, right?
Yeah, I think he just probably flew with the Royals to the stadium. But
that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's funny because, I actually tailed Joe Madden last night about, the Yankees getting swept. And then, of course, I bet the Yankees last night. And, of course, I didn't necessarily pay close attention to the game. I saw Joe Madden's Twitter, and she said, "What is wrong with these Yankees right now?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, they're probably getting beat like 9-0 by the Royals." And then I last night was able to get a notification to say that Aaron Judge rests his case by the walk-off home run, 1-0 to beat the Royals. So got that bet in. Thanks, Joe, for the free pizza money. And but yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge. When I watch Aaron Judge play, like I would do nothing but throw him sliders down and away. If I walk him, I walk him. But I'm never allowing this guy to walk off on me. And I'm never throwing him anything middle in or middle of the plate. Like, just
Agreed.
I just don't understand. I know that pitchers miss from time to time, but like, I'm never throwing him anything that he's going to burn me. If he wants to reach out and get it and knock a double down the line, I will take my medicine at that point.
Yeah, he's getting to the point of like, I don't want to say it, but I'll say it anyways. The Barry Bonds. I mean, this guy is getting to that point where everything down the middle is out of the park. Like you can't do that anymore to him.
Correct. Yeah, it's not a recipe for success for sure.
And one of the best things on baseball's done, by the way, is they have that intentional walk rule where they just let him go to the plate and don't have to do 4 weird pitches. That's one of the best things they've done in the last 100 years, and it hasn't been much.
I'm torn on it because I've seen like fake intentional walks. I've seen wild pitches, unintentional walks. Like I think there's still some strategy to having to make a pitcher walk up there and throw 4 balls to the other batter's box. Anything can happen. So I can't. And maybe that's the old school method in me, but I can't get down on just saying, "Hey, yeah, man, go take your base."
It just speeds up the game, and that to me was what helped.
I understand that, but again,
But I do like the strategy, like you said.
You're taking strategies out of the game, and I'm okay with the three. I think it's 3 batter minimum. I'm okay with things like that as far as speeding up the games for pitchers and stuff. But there's parts of the game that you're eliminating that really affect it. And again, this one doesn't affect it a ton, but you never know. Like I always love the fake intentional walk. I love you've seen wild pitches on intentional walks. Like it's a lot harder than it looks to just throw the ball to the other batter's box.
Ask anybody throwing on a first pitch. How about
that? Amen. There you go.
Shohei Ohtani wants out, maybe? This was actually broken by a Twitter account named One MLB Insider, who is credited with breaking the Freddie Freeman to Los Angeles Dodgers thing. But people are like, oh, this guy's crazy. He's saying Shohei Ohtani wants out after 2023 or whatever, and his contract ends. And then it turns out, no, Shohei Ohtani might want out, to the point where Shohei Ohtani had the comments on it saying, right now I'm an Angel. And that sounds like, you're smart, buddy, because it means next year you don't want to be an Angel, which is real smart by saying that right now. Angels are in trouble with the back news of Mike Trout. Mm-hmm. And now with this, Angels are in big trouble.
Yeah, and it's a weird situation because he's not a free agent until the end of next season. So theoretically, the Angels can hold on to this cash cow. But I don't blame Ohtani. I mean, a lot of this trade speculation and what does Shohei mean with his comments really started coming out when we heard about Mike Trout's condition. And the crazy thing is with Mike Trout and Ohtani, they're not competing. So if you believe without Mike Trout that they're going to continue competing, it's so weird how they're so snake bitten because, I mean, they're a fun team to watch. You wish they'd have a little bit more success. You want to see Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in playoff baseball. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, people on the East Coast don't get enough of Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout because of one being late and two being not in the playoffs here. Putting Shohei in a market like New York or the other LA at the Dodgers, I mean, somebody's going to back up the Brinks truck for this guy. As of right now, if the Trout condition doesn't get any better, I think he's as good as gone. And if you're the Angels, why wait until next year and have to deal with that speculation? I understand he's a cash cow, but as far as team on the field mentality, do you just give up on Shohei right now? I'd lean 70%, 90% would creep in as we tick closer to August 2nd.
It's rough, dude. I feel sorry. Okay, I have a question. Mike Trout has been in MLB for how long?
Oh, jeez.
Over 5 years.
I'd say probably close to a decade.
And we have never seen him in a playoff game.
I think he was in one playoff series and they got swept.
Was he really?
I think so. He's a 10-time All-Star, so he's been in the league at least 10 years.
Wow, dude. That just blows my mind that you could put a bet on that 10 years ago. Mike Trout will never win a playoff series with the Angels. That would have been so much money.
It's not over yet, but I get what you're saying.
Oh, you think they're going to make the playoffs this year?
Well, are you saying 2 now, like in a decade, or are you saying in his whole career?
In his whole career.
Oh.
Well, I mean, with the Angels, with the Angels.
Well, again, his career may or may not be over, but I get what you're saying. Like, if you watch this guy play and the way he, took over this team and this city, like, it almost makes you wonder, like, I understand that, like, he's a Jersey guy and they were all kind of weirded out that he didn't sign with Philadelphia or, didn't come back to the East Coast. And everybody said, well, he's just taking the money. It doesn't seem like he really cares about being competitive. I mean, it's hard to really get in his mind, but it does it does seem that way to me. So
that's so horrible.
It does. It sucks, but c'est la vie. I mean, it's maybe the greatest player that we never saw pan out. I mean, he did win 3 MVPs. Like, is he a Hall of Famer?
Wild.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Like, won. He's got 1,500 hits, 335 homers, 867 runs batted in. He's batting .303 for his life. 10-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, 2-time All-MLB first team. He was the Rookie of the Year. He's won 8 Silver Sluggers. He's won 2 Hank Aaron Awards. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. He's won 2 All-Star Game MVPs. He's in 30-30 club. He's hit for the cycle. He's led the league in stolen bases. He's led the league in RBIs. Like,
I guess by the 3 MVPs and the 10-time All-Star, yes, but some of those counting stats ain't great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you look at stats alone, in 12 years, he wasn't on pace for 3,000 hits. He probably was on pace for 500 homers and obviously 1,000 RBIs. But on pace, does that get you in the Hall of Fame? On pace doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame unless you're Terrell Davis.
Oh, shop shots at the end of the show. Hey, follow AM Drive TV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And dare I say, take us home.
Absolutely. Make sure you're subscribing to that YouTube. You can go to Mike and Aaron Drive, find all of those buttons right there so you don't have to look for us. But make sure over the weekend you're supporting the sponsors, Fanatics, Popple, Vice Golf, all of them, etc. They can be found at mikeandaarondrive.com right there. And make sure you enjoy your sports weekend. We've got baseball. We've got football talk. There's so much to do and say and watch. And there's just so much going on. The football never sleeps. But for Michael Carvelis, I am Aaron Crouch saying enjoy your weekend. We will be back on Monday. It's the AM Drive here only on all of our social networks.